What's up, y'all? What it do, what it is. This is the Peace Dealer reporting live from El Paso, Texas. I came back to shoot a music video and take a nice week of rest and reprieve. So, if you remember, the last time I was here, I had to use my phone because my laptop here doesn't really have this webcam doesn't work. It used to work all the time, but it's not working right now. So it is what it is. Shout out to the lady who donated this to me back in the day before my channel was popping like it was now. And I had this donation reading exchange where if you donated some money, I would do a reading for you. And y'all really came through. This was back when I had like 2,000 followers or maybe 3,000 followers. So, I really do want to take this time to thank a whole lot of you. First of all, can y'all hear me? How the hell? I'm looking right now. My eyesight is at the live chat. This is me looking at the camera. This is me looking at the live chat. So let me know if you could hear me and how y'all doing. What's up, Aquarian Essence? What's up, Jay Carthon? What's up, Darla Ruiz? What's up, Journey with Sass? Style and Profiling. That's what it do. I really want to take this time out. Thank you, Miss Kiki. I want to take this time to really thank you all for all the support and really walking along this journey with me so far. I didn't really think I would get to this point. It's not like I thought I wouldn't. What's up, Roxanne? Glad you made it. But, walking on this journey shows me what's possible. And most importantly, it's teaching me to walk this like a journey and not just something that I do. So I really do want to thank you for how you've been following and showing support and tuning in and taking my messages and applying them to your life. I'm getting now that I got interrupted, so I just want to know if y'all could still hear me. But unlike if there's interference, by the way, I'm not in Las Vegas, and even in Vegas, the internet connection was really great. So I don't think we should have any interference, but if we do, let me know. Regardless, though, what's really great about this period is, and before I get into the actual like message and horoscope, this is a great period to take stock. You feel me? Shout out to Queen in the live chat. Thanks for tuning in. There's a lot of stock you want to take because when you're doing well, despite the people who support you, despite the people who care about you, there are influences that will do what they can to make you not see your worth, to make you not see how good you've been progressing. When you go about this world, people see your first house, people see your 10th house. Not everyone knows your 4th house. Not everyone knows, your private life and what you live. Now, my bad. My inner Virgo is kind of getting at me. I'm sure none of you really realized, but I'm gonna have to put some chapstick on right quick. This ashy lip syndrome. I had poured paint on this one day. I was in Nigeria, and my dad was showing me this house he was building, and the paint was still wet, so it's been on there since. But regardless, it's very important that you take stock on where you have been, because guaranteed, like, there have been forces, influences, quote unquote friends who want to take the hard work you've done and undermine it. Like they want to like downplay what you've achieved for yourself. And if you let them do so, that's really on you. But you really do want to take stock. This is true, Brienne. You really do want to take stock on what you've done, what you've kind of built for yourself, where you're going, and know that what you're proud of, you have every right to be proud of. When we're in Leo season is all about pride. Leo season is all about having the pride in your heart to not only stand for something, but to express your heart, to say it with your chest, like Kevin Hart would joke about. All right. Said, don't worry because happy. Don't worry, be happy because haters are jealous. And I saw a post earlier today that was saying you should learn to differentiate your emotions with your self-esteem, because if your feelings are hurt, that doesn't have to change the way you see yourself. And that really spoke to me, because it's something that you would know, but it doesn't always hit you, right? This is a very pivotal period, because next week we start this second new moon in Leo. You know, Leo's extra when it has to have two new moons. Like every other, Gemini had one new moon, Aries had one new moon, Taurus had one new moon, Cancer had one new moon. Leo was like, no, we have to have two. We have to have two new moons. Y'all better know and recognize. So this second new moon is about to be crazy. And like Marissa said, there is a celestial battle going on. That's why I try and go as sci-fi as I can. Whenever I go on abstract concepts, and this is another thing I want to thank some of you for. Some of you have been really patient with me. The past 6 months, I have been elsewhere. Like I've been in a sci-fi world, which is this world. It's not really a thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've been trying to stretch your brain out with abstract concepts. I've been just kind of saying things that have not made sense to a lot of you. When I talk about intergalactic overlords, when I talk about the divine RPG, some of you have been really patient. Some of you have been embracing what I've been saying. Now we're getting into Virgo season. Once September hits, I can now break that. Like, you're just going to see me talk about transits. You're not going to see me bring up too much of the antics. You're not going to see me go too abstract, because now we have to get realistic again. You're just going to see me break down transits and be more analytical. And just like Queen, some of y'all knew what I was talking about when I would go abstract, because I don't lose every one of y'all. Some of y'all live this life. People. But now when I break this down analytically, all the abstract stuff that I've been saying over the past 6 months are going to make a lot more sense. And they're going to be making sense and aligning with the predictive and analytical insight that I give. And especially with Mercury that is retrograding in Virgo right now, the reality checks that you have been getting have been actually encouraging some of you to believe more in your dreams, or at least shift how you see it. Okay. So regardless, this is definitely a profound period. I mean, just look at what's happening in the world. 30 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, someone could say the same thing. All right. Just look at what's happening in the world. So don't think that what's happening now is any like exclusive, because you're going to see people like every time hype things up. It's the end of the world, even though people have been saying it's the end of the world for thousands of years. Okay. When I say things like this over and over, because you're going to see me in future broadcasts always say, this is going to be an amazing week, or this is one of the craziest weeks of all time. And I make sure I say that every week so I can let you know that this construct of time is just a construct. Every moment you live is the most important moment. So really keep that in mind. And this is what you're going to bring with you moving forward this Leo season, especially when it comes to integrating this deeper part of yourself in public situations. So let's start off with this message, because Venus is in Cancer and it's opposing Pluto in Capricorn. And this is going to transform how you feel about love. Because Venus was in Gemini, and how you thought about love was really changing, because you were seeing people not reciprocate the time and the patience you had for them, or you were seeing people really agree and align with what you're doing. So this changed a lot about how you connected, about how you talk to people. And now that it's in Cancer, your heart and your love is very psychic. You're starting to feel into things that have been revealing, and the opposition to Pluto is going to like purify, destroy anything that's not pure in your perception, and really, really shift the way you feel about love. Thank you, Diane. It was pretty fun. Shout out to Ashley B. Yes, time is an all illusion. Hashtag Cap Gang. Because Capricorn is the ruler of time. It's Saturn, right? Chronos. So, you know, this is very important because, like I said, you have and listen to me, because some of you watching me right now, I'm talking directly to you, okay? This is the week where you're going to start to bring out, what's up, Claire Smith? This is the week where you're going to start to bring out a whole lot of what you've been cultivating inside. You have a lot of people talking reckless, talking with their body language like you're a waste of space. Or, you know, some of you, you're clearly not useless, but they might undermine you like it's a real influence. And whether they do this subtly or not so subtly, it's less to do about you. And it's more to do about the darkness that they're having to hide inside their hearts. Because you may think that they're just projecting on you, but it's more people that they're also projecting on. And the reason why I'm talking directly to you, though, is because you have a private conviction. You're working on stuff deep within yourself that no one else knows. You have evolved in ways that not a lot of people know. And so a lot of people are basing their own perception on you based on either the old you or based on stuff you did years ago when you were still evolving. And this is one of those weeks where you have to set people straight, and you have to be like, no, this is that week where you have to be like, this is who I am, but this is what you did Aries season. So it coming back now in Leo season is like, this is who I am, and this is why you better recognize it. Because back in March, April, when you were telling people, this is who I am, and then in March, April, right? Every Nen Master Tiger users keep their trump card secret. Yes. A lot of you haven't even played your hand. I mean, some of you have, but some of you haven't played your total hand. And you're just playing this poker game. Like, look at all these people acting like I got nothing when I didn't even really try. Some of you have to, and the reason I have to talk to you is because when you go so long like this and you don't have anyone to nurture you, you don't have anyone to be like, yo, you are the shit. You are that dude. You are that chick. It can wear on your brain. This is psychological. It doesn't matter how strong you are. When you don't have someone watering you, right? And instead people are just projecting their own hatred of themselves to you. And then you may take that personally. Doesn't matter how strong you are. Environmentally, that's going to wear on you. And what this Leo season is blessing you with is a true friend. All right? That true friend for some of you could be your future wife or husband. That true friend could be someone that you will be with forever. All right? And this is the most important part, because the greatest thing that God can bless you with, or let me say it like this, the greatest thing that Goddess can bless you with is purpose. This is why I love cardinal signs. I love Aries people. I love Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer, because they talk in a way that reminds you, like, what are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? When they tell you their story, when they tell you what they go through, it kind of reminds you, like, yo, this life is real. And it's not like the other signs don't, but Goddess will give you purpose. Goddess will show you why you're here. When God blesses you, the way to know that God really blesses you is the true friends you have. When God loves you and decides he's ready to bless you, he will bless you with a true friend. All right? He won't give you like 50 friends. He will bless you with that one or two true friends that truly have your back. And in order to really open up to that, you need to be a friend. A lot of people think they need all the money in the world. need their fantasy lover. A lot of people think they need fame and influence. The only thing you need in this life is a true friend. At least one true friend. You straight. One true friend and your purpose, you align with your purpose, nothing can stop you. There's literally nothing that can stop you. Something can slow you down, but nothing can stop you. Tiffany Lee asked, do these friends have to be human? No, great question. Because some of you aren't human. So that means because you aren't human, then your friend doesn't have to be human. Some of you are human. And some of you may have human friends. Some of you may have, friends who act like they're humans, but they're really not. But yeah, it is what it is. Just remember that, okay? And when it comes to a lot of what you're cultivating, the reason why you have to bring out your heart, the reason why you have to speak with your heart, the reason why you have to preach with your heart is because one thing the world is slowly remembering is that it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. What do you love? What do you stand for? Okay? Honestly, I can respect a white nationalist and a white supremacist way more than these wishy-washy liberals who act like they care about social issues, but they don't do shit with their actions. All right? So who's right? The liberal is right, okay? Because the liberal realizes that you have to have fairness and equality. So the white nationalists and supremacists are wrong, but they're speaking with their hearts. Do you remember when I said shit would get super petty? I told you it's all happening. I predicted all this stuff. And I wasn't the only one who predicted this stuff too. Like a lot of other people have been predicting this. But I said once we enter this Leo season, you're going to see a lot of drama. You're going to see a lot of people speaking from the heart. I respect a white nationalist who's going to look me in the face and say, you don't belong here. I don't like you. Because they're speaking from the heart. All right? And then I'll turn around and I'll be like, screw you too. You got problems. But I'm not going to be wishy-washy. I'm not going to be fake. Seriously, I would rather be wrong than a goddamn hypocrite or wishy-washy. And people don't get that. And I saw this video this week that was very profound. Neil Tyson deGrasse, who's a Libra, that's why he doesn't believe in astrology. He's a It's very hard for some Libra men to believe in astrology or Sagittarius men because they're very intelligent. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully someone like him could get into this craft because this dude is a genius. But Neil Tyson deGrasse was talking about, there are two types of people that might apply to a job. And one person he asked, what's the height of this building? And he's a great architect. He knows the right answer. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to tell based off his studies the exact real answer. Okay. And then the other dude, he was like, I don't know the answer, but hold on, let me find out. And he goes out, he's able to quickly come up with some great explanation because he figured it out. He measured the shadow of the building and then the shadow of himself and then did a ratio, which is freaking genius. That's applied mathematics, right? And then he was probably off like a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But Neil Tyson said he would actually hire the second dude because he figured it out on the spot. And that's just something that I've always resonated with. Not a lot of people know. You can be so fixated on having the right answer. Some of you are so fixated on doing the right thing. Some of you will not talk to the love of your life, that person that your heart is trying to have you talk to, because it's like, I'm not cute enough. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to say the right thing. Some of you won't go for your dream job because it's like, I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think I'm going to say all the perfect stuff. And it's like, you're not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Just use your heart. Literally. Look at the Hunter exams. You literally have to be wrong to pass. That's interesting. But you know what I'm saying? Some of you are waiting until you have the right answer. You don't have to be ready. And that's a little bit scary. You don't have to be ready before you do what you do. You have to have heart. This doesn't mean if you come up with heart that the love of your life will instantly just like, let me take your pants off. But the courage that you bring yourself up to do this is everything. That's what's going to make or break you. That's what's going to teach you this lesson. And some of you, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even have the chance to wait until you're ready. Now, this is not to undermine preparing yourself, because if you want to do research, if you want to make sure you're prepared, that's wisdom. That's a sign that you're wise. But you cannot let that stop you. And I'm guilty too. Like, I just yesterday was all like, no, I'm not good enough for this person, or I feel like I have to say the right thing. And no, it's your heart, because that's your mind trying to analyze what to do. But this transit is teaching us to step into our heart. And your heart has its own intelligence. And chances are your heart knows what to do. Stopping it, or some of you only think with your heart and you follow it too much. That's a different story, though. Some of you have no logic. You swim with your heart. You gotta make sure you have that balance, right? Very important, you know. Thank you. It's very, very important, because this is the road to prepare you for next week when we have that eclipse, and you have that opportunity, and your legs are shaking. And there are two types of people. They're going to be the one that stands there and lets the opportunity pass them by. And then there's also going to be one that just walks forward. I started watching Boku no Hero Academia. Great show. I saw the first 13 episodes. And I have chills in my body, because this was right after the broadcast where I was talking about Mercury retrograde. And let me tell you about this Mercury retrograde opposite Neptune transit, okay? Because the very first episode of that Hero no Academia show, it's about a TV show where people have like special powers that break out. It's called quirks, individualities, right? It's certain stuff. Not everyone has it mastered, but those who do, they become heroes. And just like the movie, or just like the series Watchmen, this is a little bit, it's not as dark as Watchmen, but you know, there's a society where heroes are acknowledged. It's kind of like One Punch Man, all right? So what's important is the main protagonist, he was Kirkless, like, and don't worry, I won't spoil for you, Ali, but he didn't have any powers, you know what I'm saying? Apparently, he didn't have any powers. And he wanted to be a hero his whole life. Like, he wanted to do this. He wanted to actually, like, you know, help people and express his own super energy. And the very first episode showed me how this aligned with the season. Mercury retrograde opposite Neptune was this, it's similar to this dude having to be realistic when he would tell people his dream. Neptune and Pisces, it's my dream to be a superhero. And then Mercury and Virgo is like, you gotta be realistic, bruh. Like, you don't even have power. Like, you don't even have any like, you know, Kirk, you don't have anything to do until somebody got in trouble, the person who was bullying him, and he doesn't even know why, but he ran to the scene. The person who had no powers, who was useless, he ran up to save the dude. He didn't even know why. He just ran there, and he was useless in the situation. But that was the small time it took to remedy the situation. So forget about the show. The point of this message is, you have someone who didn't have anything. He showed the fuck up, just like Electricity just said, all right? And that's the point. It's because of his heart. Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, it's a great show. I just saw the first season. It motivated one of the main heroes to actually say, I was wrong. I have powers. You do have what it takes to be a hero, because you rushed to the situation and you didn't even know, like, before you can think, you instinctually did. His heart led him. All right. And some of you, you need to let your heart lead you like so. And one thing that I love about that show is it's so realistic. Like, this dude, it's on Hulu, and you can go to gogo.anime.io, right? If you just type it in Google. One thing I love about that show is, like, this dude will be put in situations. He looks like a geek or a nerd, as you'll say. And, like, people will be legit mad. They'll be mad, like, what the hell is up with this loser? Like, he's so afraid. I'm clearly stronger than him. but he's still fighting. That's heart. Like, dude will have dialogue in his head, like, my legs are shaking, like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I have to do this. And when you think about all the coolest shows, what was another show? I think it was even Naruto. I always reference Naruto. Some people hate that show, but Naruto was fighting Gaara. If you saw Naruto versus Gaara, Naruto was in a position where he couldn't do anything. He lost all his energy. Imagine you do like 1,000 sets of push-ups, and there's really nothing else you can do. Like, you have no energy, and it's like the dude, he kept on getting up, and he was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, why the hell am I getting up? Because he had people he had to protect. He had people he loved. He had something that he had to stand for. And this is that the Gon refused to yield to Hanzo in the last part of the Hunter exam. Exactly. Like, this is that transit. I might as well go get the headband. This is that transit that's going to show you what you're made of. When you have nothing else to move forward with but your heart, this is what activates that spiritual spark. And I say that because a lot of you are in that position more than you know. Some of you, your parents have been taken from you. Some of you, you have only yourself to provide and support for yourself. Some of you, not only that, the things that you worked so hard to build, they're gone, like, unfairly. All right. On top of that, some people who were supposed to support you, some people who you thought you can trust, are turning against you. All right. This isn't happening to everyone. Or I would hope not. But for some of you, it's that real. For some of you, it's not that intense. But for some, the theme that I'm getting at here is what you thought you could rest on, you really don't. All right. Like Ali Smith said, listen to your heart when he's calling for you. And one thing you want to know is you don't want to think that everything you've gone through to get up here was for nothing. It's built a lot of crazy stuff in you. But for those of you who are in these more serious situations, and deep in your heart, you either don't deserve it, or deep in your heart that you have to move forward. I have to let you know, thank God you have some kind of outlet, but you might be in a very dark corner. And it's kind of worse for some of you. Some of you, everything is going well in your life. On the outside, people think everything's going well, but on the inside, you're dying. Maybe you have a Leo rising and Pluto's transiting your fourth, or you have a you have a Leo rising and Libra's transiting your fourth. My bad, someone called me. So, this is very important because it's not going to feel like it. It's not going to feel like it, but you're walking more close to God than you even know. And let me just say the universe. You're walking so much more closer to the divine than you know. And this is why this is one of the reasons why you go through this darkness, so that in that position you can flip the switch and you can switch your perspective. It's so easy for me to say. It's a lot harder for you to experience. Trust me, when you're deep in it, the last thing you want to do is put on a smile. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of the great things I love about My Hero Academia. The main number one hero fights crime with a smile in his face. Even though you find out, and I can't spoil it for some of you, but it's just so important because he smiles, because it's like, even though he may not feel happy, he has to smile just so that he can set that precedent. All right. Even though no one else may definitely believe or see that vision you have, you still have to move forward knowing that you had it for a reason. That reason could be because you're delusional and you don't know any better. But if your heart is telling you to move, you got to listen to it. All right. Make sure you leave room for logic and your emotions too. But it's so important that you listen to what your heart is telling you, because a lot of you are not aware that your situation can turn around in an instant, in literally an instant. It's not like something like that hasn't happened before. Universe is waiting on you to acknowledge this, because at the end of the day, God is God. They're gentlemen, gentlewomen. Like, they're not going to force themselves on you. Dark forces will. They'll witches with dark wizards and witches, they'll do black magic to circumvent your free will. But that holy stuff, it's your choice. Once you step into the light, like so, you're now giving yourself that opportunity to flow, and not only flow, but to really resonate and stand firm in your own love as well as in your own heart. All right. So this week, the moon is transiting from Aries. It's in Taurus right now, and it's going to end up at the tail end of Cancer into Leo. And when the moon transits the first zodiac signs, this is a fundamental reintegration and receptivity to who we are, what makes us who we are. This is around the time where you come into new realizations. Usually you meet someone new, or something, a new phase of something starts. But because this is the third quarter square, while there are new phases starting, this is also closing out the lessons of this Leo transit. And with Mars on the sun, on destiny, you have all the power in the world to move forward on your dreams, but most importantly, with where your love is, with where your heart is at. Okay? Now, let me just be real with you. Not as if I wasn't real with you before, but this is very important to keep in mind when it comes to trusting in your heart. And when I say trust in your heart, I mean trust in the courage that you have, trust in the power that you have, trust in the source of your own being that is the reason why you're still breathing right now. Okay? Because there's going to be a lot of funky stuff you see in the news. All right? One thing that's so annoying to see is all these threats of war, nuclear war. Don't let anything kind of shake you off. Don't let any outside news. We gonna be all right. Like 11 Amway said. Don't let any shaky news kind of make you feel like you're going to lose your grasp, or that everything's over. When everything seems its darkest, you could still move forward. You know. And I'm saying you could still move forward because, trust me, this is what you want to do. Even if it doesn't feel like it, don't let them win. When somebody acts like you can't do something, now you have to win. Like, now you have to show them that you can. And the reason why you want to take this attitude isn't even for you, but for other people like you that could walk in your footsteps. And I say don't necessarily get thrown off, because this is going to be the next phase of very crazy stuff you're going to really be hearing. People are going to be pulling more theories out their ass and acting as if stuff that's not going to happen is going to happen. And if you don't stay centered, the reason why this is happening is to keep people off of center of their spiritual path and just be consciousness. Okay? Doesn't matter if people give you proof that something scary is going to happen. It's not. Just whether you believe in spirit guides and your walk with the universe, or you just crumble all of that and you just let anxiety take you over at the first sign of something getting chaotic. This is very, very, very important. And thank you, Diane. It's something that you don't want to let you take over, because this will just really knock out all the work that you've done. And I would just really be mindful. Know that any kind of doomsday prophecy or threat of war is nothing new. It's something that actually happens more often than you think. Media outlets just like to exploit news like this to get you in a different way, to actually like profit off of you, get insurance companies more money. Whether this is an integrated conspiracy or they all just coincidentally work together like that, it really doesn't matter. Because the real war, don't get scared of World War III when World War Zero is still happening under your nose. And that's the one thing that I really just want to make sure people understand. Like, the spiritual warfare never stops. As long as we have the opportunity to divide ourselves against each other and to really, like, you know, flowing floats pissing me off too, and to really like hate each other, the spiritual war is still going to rage on until we're actually in a position to like, is this still on my lip? But until you're still in a position to like, you know, band together. My bad. I just got distracted. But regardless, this is definitely a great week to be aware and mindful of how your inner spiritual world blends with this outer real world, how integrated, and most importantly, don't rep no sides, only your own real stuff. And most importantly, where do you stand? Like I said before, um, I respect the white nationalists way more, and I don't like white nationalists. Fuck them. But I respect one way more than a wishy-washy liberal who pretends to be on my side, but they don't do anything to show that. And so just like that, you owe it to yourself to stand up for what you want to stand up for. Trust me. Look, this is where the advent of groupthink and societal banishment, if you don't like, we live in a world where if you say something that no one agrees with, a bunch of blogs will like attack your character and say you're evil. All right. For example, let's take, yeah, Dominic, I can understand why I should use a different word than respect. I feel you. But let's take a very sensitive issue, all right, with homosexuality or gender, you know what I'm saying? Um, People get really sensitive now. So if you don't agree with someone here, things can grow way out of proportion. Topics like this definitely need important conversation, but this is that type of thing where if you think you are not a man or a woman, then you really need to stand up for that. If you think like your gender is a bear and that's not necessarily right, you really need to stand up for that. If you really think that male and female are the only sex, you really need to stand up for that. If you think that it's right or wrong to be bisexual, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. You need to stand up for that because this is what's going to open up the dialogue. Someone said astrology talk, please. This is the astrology talk. I'm talking about astrology right now. You really need to stand up for what it is you believe in your heart. That's Leo. And if whether you're transgender, whether you're not transgender, it's not about if you're right or wrong right now. It's actually never if you're right or wrong, because you could be right and it won't change anything. You could be wrong and it won't change anything relative to what's happening right now. Okay? So the reason why I'm saying this is because, trust me, in a month from now, when we're in Libra and Virgo and Libra season, where you now have to like prioritize on logic, and now Virgo and Libra, the angelic clan is like, all right, y'all, let's present the facts. Let's get back to logic now. Okay. It's not about that right now. We're in Leo season. You have to be in a position to where you open up your heart and you actually express what's on your heart. Some of you are afraid to do this because you've seen someone else do it and you've seen people kind of like, you know what I'm saying? TV, what is I'm talking astrology right now. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, some of you will not really speak your heart because you've seen someone else do it and they've gotten completely ostracized. Some of you will not speak what's truly on your heart because you know the bridges that will burn, you know the people who will stop talking to you, and really make sure you're in a position to not really care. And the reason why I say you don't want to care is because you may think you can hide it, but it's going to come out. It's eventually really going to come out. And trust me when I say a lot of, just because it's from your heart doesn't mean that it's pure, doesn't mean that it's the greatest stuff ever. There are going to be some stuff that you share that you may not even be, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff that might not actually even be factually right, but believes it. Now, in a month from now, with the facts, it's up to you whether to compromise and change what you believe. This is what Virgo season, being a sign of change, does. This happens like 4 times a year. To express your heart so people know where you stand. Does that make sense? If as long as people know where you stand, now they can dialogue and debate with you. All right. And this is naturally going to bring chaos and conflict. Although what's going to happen this week is you may share your heart with someone and you may find, oh crap, they actually align with what you believe too. Exactly. Maybe you both believe the opposite things, but the reason why you believe those things are see it in different ways. Don't let a need to know all the facts stop you from speaking your mind. And I didn't say that you have to like judge other people. I didn't say judge other people who don't believe in what your heart believes in. I'm just saying for the road to the solar eclipse, you need to be honest with yourself and honest with other people and speak your heart. Speaking your heart always brings courage. And this is astrology talk, by the way. And this is all Leo. This is all Mars. Speak your heart. Take actions off of that and show people what that is. I guarantee you, when you do that, you're probably not going to be the most popular. And that's how you know you're doing it right. If you probably start to have people like combating what you're saying, this is a good sign. More so because it's opening up dialogue for people to like actually engage with what the philosophy is, but really just so you won't be fake. If you feel like you have to not speak your heart because it's going to offend someone. And I don't mean like demean them. I mean because you think it's going to be conflicting, because you feel like that person's going to be offended. You have to realize they're not weak. They're tough too. They have the ability to speak their truth back to you. And this is really more so for you so that you're in a position to let the, not the world, but let people know where you stand. A lot of people don't stand for crap. That's why when you stand for something, they get confused. They don't know what the hell to do. They don't even realize that they fall for anything because they stand for nothing. You actually stand for something. It doesn't matter who you are. You cannot please everyone. You can ride a horse and people will say, why isn't the horse being comfortable? You can get off the horse and people will be like, yo, it's a horse. Why aren't you riding it? You can hold the horse and people will be like, are you dumb? Let the horse walk. You cannot please everybody. You're not even supposed to please everybody. And trust me, the fact that Pisces exists, means that what you think is an objective truth really isn't objective. Everything is our own subjective representation and understanding of what we see. So this Neptune opposite Mercury is showing you that things that you think are factual can change at a moment's notice for no reason. And if you're trying to find a logical reason why, you're going to literally, it's like chicken versus the egg. All right. Put it this way. This is a dilemma you may face. Your computer turns off and you think it's a ghost, but then you really find out your computer turned off because there was a circuit cut from the computer. So you think it's a ghost. Someone else thinks it was the false circuitry that just happened to, and it's which comes first? Is it the ghost that caused the circuitry to trip? Maybe there is no ghost, but this is that subjective thinking. Ultimately, you're going to think there is an objective answer to this. And in this plane where you have that dot where it's finite, that's what it seems until you start to look higher in the dimensional awareness, and you now start to see the multiverse, the multi-potentiality. The reason why I'm saying this is when you see things, don't be so attached to what you see. And take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I don't have Virgo energy in my chart. I don't have Libra energy in my chart. I don't have Sagittarius energy in my chart. So this means when I look, I'm just a messenger. And as a messenger, this doesn't even mean that what I say in my own subjective experience is gospel truth. I never say what I say is absolute. I just transmit the messages, and then I give it to you. And that's why I'm the third sign of the zodiac. Everything adds up on that. So people with Virgo, people with Sagittarius can take my message, and then they can distill what I said that's not as factual, and then they can come into the right meaning. So I'm going to start really disclaiming this, but whenever I give messages, know that it's just a transmission. And there's certain things that could be distilled. There's certain things that could be refined. Do that because I have Aries and I'm trying to be raw. Even though I could be politically correct, I can't have to be raw. Like, I have to let you know, I have to probably be the bad guy sometimes and say certain things so you get the raw aspect. And then you can sugarcoat it if you want when you distill that message. So it's very important to say, because when I speak on certain themes, I don't have a PhD. Yeah, don't shoot the messenger, like Alex said. I don't have a PhD in astrophysics. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a master's degree in certain themes, but I can still channel the message that I'm getting, and then certain people who are there can make more sense of it. Let me know, hey, this is actually what you meant to say, and then we could argue or not. But regardless, really be in a position where you are prepared to stand up for what your heart knows is true for you, and to be prepared for what your heart really accepts for what you can do for yourself and others. Keep this in mind. Before I get into the cards and hop into the Peace Mobile, we will be having our New Moon in Leo webinar. Let me make sure I have the date right first and foremost. August 21st. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Make sure you join me. I have the links in the description below. We're going to do a very profound healing that's going to bring back into incorporation the other healings we did Cancer and Leo season. So if you join me this webinar, on top of interpreting the transits, like we do every webinar, we're going to do a very powerful meditation that will really set you forth and bring into incorporation a lot of the work we did prior. And I really do like this because a lot of you who've been taking the webinars have been emailing me and saying, yo, there's been solid shifts in my consciousness. Thank you. Like, this is really working. And I'm not the only one to thank. You need to also thank yourselves and everyone else who joins, because we all do this meditation together. Okay. Shout out to Aphrodite. Aphrodite has always been to these webinars, always showing love, always healing everyone there, and everyone feels it. It's amazing. Like, this is a great period for us to actually like bond a lot more. So other than the meditation we're going to do, I'm going to talk about the next 2 weeks ahead. I'm going to break it down specifically by zodiac sign as well. And we will take some Q&A, and make sure you join me. I also have the new moon Eclipse tarot eclipse reports for $10. So I will draw an oracle card for you and a 10-card tarot card Celtic spread. Okay. Gemma Hay says, does this eclipse affect everyone all over the world? Yes, the eclipse does affect everyone all over the world. And when it comes to astrological transits, you want to keep in mind it is the frequencies, the collective frequencies that really influence us. So it's not technically the planet that makes you do what you do. It's your reaction to the frequency that the planet is buzzing around outside of you that really defines your actions. Really keep this in mind. Because when I talk about Leo is going to be squared by Taurus and this, it's not necessarily talking about you. When I talk about how the astrological horoscopes are going to happen, remember, you aren't your zodiac sign. You're just represented. And I'm going to make a video about this again. And I just want to keep reiterating this. You are not Libra. You are not Libra is so powerful. If you were Libra, you would break out of your human body because that vibration would just be so powerful for you to maintain. You go crazy. You represent Libra. You are not Leo. You are not Pisces. The only way I can say you were a sign is if every single one of your planets was in one sign. Like I know there's this one chick, her name is Giovanna Ventura. She's on Instagram. Go check her out. She has all of her planets in Sagittarius and maybe one in like Pisces. Those are exceptions. Like when you have all your personal planets in a zodiac sign, you're that sign. So that's Sagittarius. She has Pluto and Mercury in the sun. If you want to see Sagittarius incarnated, bam. But if you don't have all personal planets like in a sign, you really aren't that sign. You just represent it. So I want you, for some of you who need to like see this, for some of you who actually need to, Dominic, good luck, bro. For those of you who actually need to like, saying, don't worry, Dominic, the whole world stocks her too, I'm just joking. But regardless, go to Verizon, go to like Best Buy, and when you see a representative, call them Best Buy. Be like, hey, Best Buy, or hey, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to tell you, I'm not Verizon, I'm not Best Buy, I just represent Best Buy. I'm merely just a representative, okay? You are not your sun sign, moon sign. You are not your rising sign. A lot of people think that you're either one of the three. You are all the energies that are different from someone else who has the same sun sign as you, because you're your sun, you're your moon. Oh my God. You're your sun, you're your moon, you're your rising, you're your Venus, you're your Mars, you're also your house cusps. It's everything. And it's important that you get out of the habit of trying to just identify with one thing. Your sun sign is going to be your individuality. So as a Gemini, I'm very much so a Gemini. All right, I'm very much so air. But I have my soul in earth. I have my personality in earth. I have my Mars in fire. All these little things make up who I am. And it's important that you start to look at the wholeness of things. And the way you can apply this is even yourself. It's not just you. We're all part of the body of the cosmos. We're all body parts. We're all connected by energy and frequency. It's not just the earth. The earth, this living organism, also travels with Mars, also travels with Venus. And if you look at the galaxy, you're just going to see one glyph until you zoom in and you see this vast starry field, until you zoom in and then you see the planet, until you zoom in and you see all these people with their individual lives, until you zoom in and you see the cellular structure of their molecules and the molecular basis of what allows them to experience life. You have this energy body. So for those of you who hate being human, it's the most hypocritical thing ever. If you were not in a human body, you would not have the retina that you can now take this communication to show you what you're seeing. You wouldn't have ears to help you hear what the hell is going on. All All right. So really honor the temple that is your body, loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. Amen. And know that regardless of what you think you know, the focus right now is to just follow your heart. And I hate saying that. That is so cliche. Acknowledge your heart. All right. Acknowledge what your heart's saying. Some of you literally don't even know what it says because you suppressed it for so long. You've had people beat you up when you spoke your heart, some literally physically. Every time you've expressed your heart, it's probably been met with pain. Maybe you've gotten rejected, and so you have swords through your heart, and so your heart speaks and you don't even hear it. It's overshadowed by the loud thoughts of your mind and your insecure feelings. And this is the type of transit that's going to help you listen to your heart again. It's going, you may not want to hear it, but you owe it to yourself to try and get to understand it. Yourself to not only try and get to understand it, but also, really get into the motive. So Miriam, like I just said, Miriam asked, so our ascendant sign is the most important sign in our chart to look out. That is a lie from, well, I don't want to say it's a lie. I can see how some astrologers may think so, but no, there is no most important part. Thank you, Mia Knots, thank you, Queen. The thing that I really want to get you to understand is there really is no most important part of your chart. Like they're all, I don't want to say they're all equally important, but they're all important. People resonate more with their moon. Some people resonate more with their AC. Some people resonate more with their sun. Yeah, you'll hear somebody say that your ascendant sign is your most important or your moon sign, but that's really just all antics. None exists without the other. So if you're going to look at your rising sign, it's going to really map out your personality and what will happen, but it's not even powered without the sun. So you don't want to look at one, and I'm glad you asked because a lot of people kind of think about this. It's a whole chart of all the energies. One is not more important than the other. You want to think like that because then this will make you not prioritize one. The moon sign is going to influence you more. So like Sheena said, it is the most influential. Just keep in mind, you have to make sure you look at the relationship between everyone because a lot of people, all right? Your Mercury is just as potent as your moon or your sun. A lot of people don't know that because a lot of people don't think, a lot of people do, but it's all good. Let me not be a self-righteous. You need your Mars energy too, how you'll feel yourself. So Mars is on the sun. This is the most important thing. What action are you taking towards your heart? All right. I've been interfered. Here's a great example. My music. I don't really push my music a lot. I don't have like a mainstream budget to get myself on Billboard charts. But music is a good example because this is Leo. This is the expression of your heart. And I traveled down to El Paso to shoot a music video. I don't really have that many people in my life. Like I can count them on these two hands who really support the music I do. I don't have people in my corner like, yeah, you're going to make it in this game. You're dope. If anything, people like to play smart. People like to be like, oh, you're a rapper. Oh, you make music. Is this for your YouTube channel? Like they'll throw shade. And that's cool. But I'm taking action on my heart. No one did this for me. All right. Nobody forced me to do this. I took action to travel. And this video that I'm shooting, by the way, I've been blocked twice. I was supposed to shoot this last month, but I was met with interference and more interference. And did I let that stop me? No, I kept going. And type of success in this, just like when you reach any type of success with what your heart's doing, I guarantee you. Oh, Gemma Hayes. Shout out to K Pisces. K Pisces is amazing. Thank you. She always shows love. But when you actually you know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. When you achieve support in what you do, those same people are gonna act like, oh, I always believed in you. Oh, you great. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that stop you. just because they're not supporting you right now. I'm not talking about necessarily people who are like, you know how there's some people who are like, when I make it, I'm going to act brand new. You know, it is what it is. That could be a little bit salty, but I'm talking about those of you who work on your heart. I'm talking about those of you who spend every day working on your craft. You're working on what you love. Nobody really supports you the way that, you know, they act like they may want to, but nobody helps you. People might actually get in your way, but is that stopping you from doing what you do? All right. Is that stopping you from actually? Oh, G1 asked, what's wrong with the YouTube channel? That's great. So if my music is Leo, then my astrology is Aquarius. So keep that in mind, because this is a great polarity, North and South node, huh? But keep this in mind, though, because whatever your passion is, whatever your creativity is, Mars is giving you that field to work towards. You don't even, the last thing that you care about is what other people think, because it's up to you. It's not going to accomplish unless it's you. And before I get into the Peace Mobile, trust me. All right. Before I even say that, Jay Carthon, I had the revelation that I will be the greatest artist of this time. And the solar eclipse is pushing people out of my life. If some of you feel like you're about to be the greatest and the best in your field, number one, know that you have competition. Know that everyone is going to try to be the greatest. And number two, know that you're the greatest because you said you were. Okay, not because you said were, because you believe it. Trust me, like, if your work has to work for yourself. So objectively speaking, you're going to be the greatest because your work proves you're the greatest. But until then, you cannot stop believing that. Especially if you get that revelation, you cannot wait for other people to acknowledge that you're going to be the best in this field. You're going to be the greatest. If you look at anyone who's the greatest now, they always knew it. They didn't wait for other people to. In fact, some people, they didn't even care about being the greatest. They just they just loved what they do so much, and they were just so in tune with what they do. They didn't even care about the accolades, because being the greatest, being the best, that's all subjective. But what that means is you want to be the top of your field. That's just a way of saying, I love what I do so much. I want to be that good. I want to be that amazing, right? And it's with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you never, ever, 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 ever give up. All right? Some of you have no excuse because you've had synchronicity over sign of how great you are. And the last message that I have to say before I hop into the Peace Mobile is you have to understand, y'all, some of you are remedial student teachers. Some of you are not popular, and you're letting that get in your way. Some of you, literally, let me give you a great example. Do you know what's popular right now? Do you know what's popular music? There's a bunch of kids rapping about being junkies, rapping about having sex with anybody, rapping about taking drugs, shooting people. All right, this is popular for some reason. This is for some reason very popular. All right, a lot of the most popular music is still trash. It's still trash. But if you're gonna listen to the bandwagon and act like this shit's really hot, like some of you, your eyes are open and you're like, this is not good music. And then you're a hater if you tell the truth. Some of you make very positive music and it's not popular because it's not trending. You can't blame the artist. It's the culture. And it's negative programming kept to keep us dumb. So you have this trap rap, you know what I'm saying? This mumble rap. You have people who are glorifying stupidity. Before mumble rap, we had art. We had Soldier Boy. All right? We had people snapping. This was before we went to the darker, right? So are you going to let that stop you because less people understand what you're saying? Because you have rare people who actually still make great music. And a lot of people say all the music today is garbage. That's not true. There's so much good music today. It's just not being pushed because it's not a certain level of dumb. Let me tell you something. Little Brother, a hip hop group, back in like the early 2000s, their single was denied on BET because the people said it was too smart for the people. Fonte and Big Pooh, they were going to their video, loving it. It didn't last that long because the program director said it's too educational, it's too smart for the people. So if you think people are trying to dumb you down, trust me, even pop music, before Kesha was waking up in the morning looking like P. Diddy, Michael Jackson made a song about kids. Michael Jackson would make very uplifting pop songs, the king of pop, Prince. People used to make very good pop songs that were socially conscious. You don't see that a lot anymore. Just dumb shit. Just dumb shit. Ellen Marshall, I don't like to say I communicate with the Pleiades, but my Mercury is 29 degrees Taurus, which is the Palladian degree. So that's where I channel from. I don't like to say I do, but that's just kind of my connect there. But yeah, my friends, like really keep this in mind. The message that I'm saying is if you're looking to be popular, then you need to understand Tesla, the greats, other people who've invented stuff or written books that people were like the younger generation was like, oh wow, this person wasn't a freak, they were a genius. Okay, you might be that one person that's making music or writing literature about how people should love each other, about how people should actually like, I don't know, pay attention to socially conscious issues. And you might be around people who are not awakened yet, people who are like, oh, that's not lit. That's not lit. You're not talking about popping lean. You're not talking about doing this. Like, seriously. And if you're allowing yourself to be affected by that, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. This is like you going into a third grade classroom and then you as the teacher who's supposed to lead by example and teach them how to do it, you're starting to get mad that third graders are acting like third graders, that adults are acting like third graders. But some of you are put in positions to lead by example. And if you're waiting for acknowledgement, that's the last thing you're supposed to wait for. You have to just walk your truth, speak your heart, and align by that with integrity. And I'm saying this because a lot of you watching this right now, you already have the juice. You already have the answers. A lot of you do something because you don't think it'll be popular. A lot of you still listen to these idiots who are like, yeah, we like your song, but it's just not going to have mainstream appeal. I don't think you should do it. And the mainstream appeal is the last reason you should do something. A lot of you will not do something because you don't think that it will get the notoriety it deserves when you know you're actually talking about something. To put something out, like whenever I put out anything, I don't care if two people see it. Like seriously, I don't even promote a lot of what I do. Like I just do it because it's not about the glory for me. It's about the work I have to do. And this is not only the week, this is the conclusion of the season that's fine-tuning and finalizing not only your message that you developed in Gemini season, but the courage and the attitude of that attitude so that you can say it with your chest and so that you can be in a position to put out substance. Don't stop yourself from putting out substance, from writing that person because, or from for writing anything because you don't think it'll be well accepted. It doesn't matter about that. There's other people like you who are rare, who are waiting for you. This is facts. This is facts. There are other people rare who are waiting for you. They're just like you. They're just like you. They can't talk to this stuff about other people. They're waiting for someone like you to open up to them and talk to them so they can open up to you. So you might not want to open up about how you feel this moon transit changed your life because you think the person you're going to tell it to will think you're weird. Meanwhile, in their head, they're like, ooh, if I talk about Mercury, they'll think I'm weird. You don't know. You have a best friend you could just potentially connect with. So make sure you open up your heart. Make sure you're in a position. And trust me, a lot of what I'm saying, you're going to be put in the test to actually live this out. So keep that in mind. But yeah, regardless, let us hop into the Peace Mobile right quick. Oops. Okay. Cool. So hopefully y'all see this well enough. All right. Present to everyone. All right. So right now the moon's in Taurus. Okay. And we have the sun getting ready to move onto the North Node. Now, the next couple of days are going to be vicious. But first, now that the moon is in Taurus, this is the last quarter square. Oh my God, what the hell just happened? This is the last quarter square that we're experiencing. And this last quarter square is taking the value of what you know your heart to be and making sure you not only live that, you have enough courage and self-esteem in what you love. The 10th house influence of this transit is going to bring to the surface certain achievements that you've done so far this cycle, but also it's going to really test whether you find valuable that which you love. And you know, because you won't fail or hesitate to stand up for it when the time comes. All right. But the most important day is the 15th and the 16th when the sun is node. All right. The reason why this is important is because not only will the sun be on the north node, but the moon's going to be in Gemini. This is the most important part. The 11th house influence is where you're going to really have a profound opportunity to not only connect with certain key friends in your life, but it's going to propel you forward to the truth of what this bond is for and what you can do with it. The trine to Jupiter and Libra and the square to Neptune will highlight and key in certain things that are not logical at all and will confuse you at first, but challenge you to still express forth your own convictions. Because the moon square to Neptune days will only be tough if you don't believe or speak your own truth. This is actually going to make factual a whole lot of what you thought was fiction and a lot that you couldn't understand, the light of Gemini, while opposed to Saturn. But the awareness you're about to gain for this karma, look to the 15th and especially the 16th to really point the way forward and inspire you with what direction your heart is taking and what awareness destiny is going to look for you. So wherever this is in your house, if you are a Taurus, then this has a lot to do with a family you may start or evolve, okay? Or moving into a right place that'll open up your career like never before. All right, and then of course, last few days of the week while the moon is in Cancer, okay, this is where in this dark moon, we're going to be tested on how strong we can develop our feelings so we don't get taken away by the wayside. But more importantly, especially the opposition and the T-square that we're going to have here, this is going to break out through what you're comfortable with sharing. It won't be comfortable while you're sharing it, but what you're comfortable with sharing, this is going to allow the major players in the game to know whether you are a major player or not, not only where you stand, but what doors you can open with this sincerity. So this week, as we move forward into the new moon, definitely seems not only promising, but it's going to shift so much that you may not even be close to being aware of. And not only is that going to be a very profound influence, but it's going to quite positively, well, let me just hope it's positively. It's just going to really show you not only how powerful your heart is, but also what you do this for. Some of you will be so surprised, like this is one of those weeks that key in quite profoundly how different your heart is from your mind. You may have thought that you were following your heart, when it was really your mind you were following. Some of you, you're going to realize you've been listening to the voice of your heart this whole time. And this is that wrap up to really gaining a greater identity over what it is you love and why, what you can do with it and how. Okay. So that being said, the greatest way to apply what this message I've really been trying to speak on is whenever you're around anyone, speak from your heart. Mercury is in Virgo, so speak the value of your heart. The value of your heart is applied in kindness, and it doesn't matter, you may not be the most comfortable around someone, but give them your attention and give them you. Give them who you are. No, in fact, you don't have to give them that, but just share them you when you're in their presence. That may be the one thing they've been needing this whole time. And you may have been so busy you didn't know your presence was necessary. And vice versa. The person who shares their heart with you, it may not even be them, but the energy and essence they shared. So you can recharge with that. That being said, I'm going to draw the cards for the Zodiac signs. I'm going to draw not only a card, but also I will draw a angel card. I left my cards in Vegas, so my sister let me borrow her cards. She let me use her tarot and her oracle card deck. So that's the current situation that we are in right now. Yeah, keep that in mind. Aries, for you, actually, one more message before I really get into the cards. The messages just keep channeling. Because Leo season has everything to do with courage and having the courage to step up for yourself and stand up for yourself, really expect this week to be confronted, especially when the sun is on the North Node, with finally being in a position to control and take forth that which you desire. Activate a lot. But Mars is going to activate a lot. And all you have to do is go for it. The message I have for you this week is when the opportunity presents itself, go for it. Don't be stuck. Don't overthink it. Don't think about what you have to do. Just go for it. This is going to be easy for people like me who are like improv kings and masters. Like, we wing our whole life. Doesn't mean that what we do is going to be perfect, but at the very least, you know what I mean? To open up your awareness of how charismatic and how strong you really are. So once again, when the opportunity presents itself, go for it. Don't think about what you have to do, because anytime you spend thinking about it will turn into overthinking, and you may lose your opportunity. The way fire is once it's hot, you have to strike, because eventually that fire will wane and you've missed your chance. So once that opportunity presents itself, my friend, go for it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about what will happen. You're going to be like, do it, do it, do it, do it. Just do it. Like Nike. All right. Aries, for the zodiac signs, this is for your rising sign. This is for your moon sign. This is for your sun sign. This is for your Venus sign. It could be for whatever. All right. I see you, D, rolling your eyes. You better do it. You better do it. Well, regardless. Aries, for you, this is going to signal a very potent exploration and breakout of your heart. In fact, Aries, you're going to find that this week alone, it's going to establish certain precedent in your life to really determine not only where you're going to take your creative talents, the strength and power of what you represent. So make sure with Mercury retrograding house, you allow yourself to reevaluate all the decisions that you need to make, or you have to reevaluate all the decisions that you're going to make for your lifestyle you decide to do. And you'll notice quite profoundly that you taking the decision to move forward on your heart and your ambitions will do a whole lot to shift quite greatly your own inner understanding of what you love because of Venus in your fourth. So you'll find that relationships this week really get to know the you inside yourself. You're going to be able to relate with people at a more personal level. So the card that I have for you, be mindful. My sister does reversed cards. So if the tarot card comes up reversed, I'm pull it. We have Ace of Fire. New opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. All right. So you're going to have that spark to take advantage of. And the High Priestess is saying that this spark, I really like the illustration. This is pretty dope. The High Priestess is saying that this spark is going to come about intuitively. You're just going to have an inner knowing of what to do with this. So trust your intuition because your intuition is correct. All right. Taurus, for you, this week is going to really implement how sincerely you express your attitude. So you're going to find that the stuff you say really brings out the beautiful parts of your attitude. With Venus in your third, don't necessarily be afraid or shy away. Being in a position to sincerely express what it is you think, sincerely express what it is you want. Because with Pluto in your ninth, this is what's going to transform with that triggering your philosophy. And because Jupiter is in your sixth, the more stuff you incorporate others in your lifestyle with, the more growth that will come. But with this nodal energy in your fourth, establish what you need your foundation to be, because this will be everything for you. I won't do the angel cards reversed because, yeah, I'll just do the tarot reverse. But I have release. Okay, this is the death card in the tarot, but here it's Archangel Azrael. All right, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. And the reason why I know it's spiritual transformation is we have the star card. This is one of the wish cards in the tarot. So not only are you spiritually transforming and releasing, god damn, thank you, Planet Liberty. Not only are you releasing, transforming, the star is saying this week you're going to really come into your wildest dreams. Something amazing is going to happen for you, Taurus, where it's just going to restore your faith in all that's good with life. And you're going to get your star power on. It's going to be really great. Okay, this is you really stepping into an important part of your energy. Okay. Oops. What's that? So Gemini, for you, this week is going to be quite tricky because Saturn is still in your sign. Saturn is still opposite you, but with this Leo energy, a lot of your message is going to be fine-tuned. Gemini, this is going to be the week where your style, you say things, is going to really be defined. It's going to come into an evolution so that instead of you just saying things, there's to what aligns with this. Since Uranus is in your 11th and with Jupiter in your 5th, still opening up the doorway for positive opportunities to romantically connect or to really express your heart, allow to manifest this level of sincerity through how you realistically and psychically look at the values you keep in your heart. Right? So the card we have for you, Gemini, with the Tower reversed, is speaking of narrowly avoiding certain situations. Kind of tricky because you might be in a position where they're able to do certain things when they're supposed to happen. If anything, the Tower reversed is saying be very mindful of the red flags that occur, because if you don't, this is what can allow the Tower reversed for you, Gemini, is before something catastrophic happens. So don't necessarily let yourself get got. if anything. Allow yourself to actually like night of Earth, time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. So with the night of Earth, getting your Virgo on and staying committed and consistent with the projects you're doing will definitely allow you to move forward. But this could be with the night of Earth that this Tower card reversed happens with. So definitely keep this in mind. Cancer, because Venus is in your sign, this is going to attract a lot of beauty your way. And it's going to give you the position to, it's going to give you the whereabout to really like come into greater knowledge. Actually, this is just good buffer for you because Pluto is tearing you apart as well as the other cardinal signs. So allow you to come into a certain sense of pride, but also understanding. In other words, you can harness Venus's power by expressing your heart and the beautiful things about you. Since Jupiter is also, since Jupiter is also in your fourth house, this is kind of expanding the level of comfort you feel within yourself, and you're going to be able to manifest something quite golden with this North Node energy in your second. So kind of influencing your eighth, transform you with the advanced knowledge from the ancient future you're coming into. But this is actually just a great time to come into the money you're meant to be making because you're fabulous. And we have the Chariot. The Chariot is saying an important achievement. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. So this is definitely you sailing towards into victory or riding into victory. And with the Six of Pentacles, this is a Moon in Taurus card. So make sure you're to honor commitments. But this is really just talking more about financial flow and to get that rolling again and to even help others who need money. But if you need assistance yourself, just ask. That's it. Just ask. Leo. Hold on. I need to do some quick research. Leo, for you, because of it is your season, I think one of the most powerful days will be the 15th or whenever it is that, not the 15th, the 16th, when the sun is conjunct the North Node. You want to really use this solar energy to define with destiny what you want. And this is really why it's so amazing to have destiny transit your sign, because whatever you say you are and whatever you say and intend, destiny literally has your back. Like everything is going to like shift. So you're in a position to fulfill that because destiny and Mars is fueling you with the proper amount of energy to like move forward courageously. Okay. And to Gemini, you also got the Tower card reversed. First, you avoiding disaster. A fear of change, but it's really talking about you avoiding disaster. Here's a great Tower card reversed. The Tower card reversed is you not having sex with that person, and then you could have had an unexpected pregnancy, but you avoided that disaster because you thought with your brain. And we also have the Four of Water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So Leo, you might have to curve an opportunity. You might have to be like, no, I'm good. And from doing that, you avoid disaster because it just may not feel right to you. You just may not necessarily be in a position to be open because some of you Leos are mad depressed right now. Even though this is such a great time, Leo is one of those zodiac signs that will never open up to other people. Trust me, Leo will pour their heart. Leo is one of the signs with Libra. Leo and Libra, you two do this the most. Like you will be open with people, what's bothering you. You will tell them, you know, you'll share your hearts, but then you'll still hide what's really bothering you. Like you won't truly be open with people. and you'll hide some shit within your heart that is really dark. And it only kind of counterintuitively messes with you because you're not opening up. Some of you can't even open up because no one will even understand what you're saying. And thankfully, it's not every Leo and Libra. So yeah, but keep that in mind. So Virgo, Mercury retrograding in your sign is confusing the crap out of y'all. But don't worry, everyone else is just as confused. It's just really rubbing you the wrong way because you're trying to make sense of all of this. And stop trying to make sense of all this, because the more sense you make, acknowledging that Neptune is in Pisces opposite you deliberately. Hold on, Virgo. I don't think you know, Virgo. Neptune in Pisces is sending people to troll you. Neptune in Pisces is not only sending people to troll you, Neptune in Pisces is legit sending people to confuse the crap out of you. And they don't even know. Some of the people don't even know unless they're Pisces moon or Pisces. Like everything that you kind of decide, Neptune will send someone to test how much you believe it. Make you question your motives. And then Saturn is still squaring you too. So it's very tough. You're not getting an internal level, and it's driving you crazy because you're seeing people who are stupid kind of like make you feel like you're stupid when you know you have the facts. So good luck, Virgo. What I can say with this 12th house energy is that your whole spirituality is being revolutionized, and how you tap in to your heart spiritually is allowing you to really tap in to the divine more through your heart, because you're an angel. So you have a special connection with God. And that means you have to do things a little bit different and privately. Okay, so keep that in mind. We have the 4 of air, which is time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Okay. And then we also have strength. So you do have the power. You definitely do got the power. While you're taking time to reflect, know that you're stronger than you know, and that it's your charisma and your own inner strength that will help you navigate a lot of what's really, annoying you, if anything. Okay. Libra, you have Jupiter in your sign, so you just have to keep putting yourself out there. And the reason why you have to keep putting yourself out there is with all this 11th house energy, Libra, for a lot of you, this is your time to be famous. This is your time to break out. True, because look at Cardi B. Cardi B is a Libra who's finally breaking out in the rap game. And she's made music before. She's been in the scene before, which has led up to this. But now that her 11th house is activating, she has a hit single because she's putting herself out there. Like famous or not, a lot more people in your community are going to get to know you because you're putting yourself out there. So the work that you've been doing, Libra risings and Libras, is finally going to connect everywhere. And this is like getting your big break. Okay, Libra? Some of you, you're not even going to see it coming because Uranus is in your 7th house, and it's going to be so random how the 7th house is connected to the 11th, which is connected to the 3rd, because you have to be in a position where you actually really understand how the people you relate with one-on-one connect you with your community, connect you with the people who are in the know. So you actually putting yourself out there in that sense will help you. But Pluto is squaring your sun. So I'm going to use Cardi B as an example again. She's in the industry, and she's realizing a whole lot of people who she idolized are haters. That's Pluto square your sun. That's, things aren't as they seem. And you're having to deal with serious shade from people if you're not yourself throwing serious shade yourself. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. The 9 of Wands reverse is saying you're a little bit hesitant to make long-term commitment, and you don't want to be in a position not necessarily allowing a lot of your discernment to just like not matter anymore. Okay. You may definitely be on edge and hesitant, but there's a lot of paranoia that you're facing because you don't know who the hell you can trust. and you don't know what the hell to do with this. If anything, well, it's not that you don't know what to do with it, but how to react. But the page of Earth says good news about financial matters, wanting it more challenging, a new area of study. So let the development in the projects you're working guide you forth, but don't let yourself get paranoid. Just know that you have your own power to move forward with. Okay, cardinal signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Y'all need to stop trying to commit suicide. Y'all really need to stop trying to kill yourself. And let me tell you something, because I've heard too many stories of Aries and Cancers and Capricorns and Libras try and kill themselves. They try and overdose and they don't die. All right, I've heard this at least from 3 different people who've tried to overdose and they did not die because you still needed, y'all. Like, you really can't kill yourself. Like, we need you. We actually need you. Forget all this bullshit that people are doing, and the dark forces are trying to make you think people don't give a damn about you. But we need you. Don't be so caught up in the BS people do towards you. It's just to get you off your element. So I really need to let you know this, because some of you are trying to kill yourself multiple times because it's not working the first time. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. That's all I can say. Please don't. Like, if you're still trying, you need to realize you're here for a reason. And you're going through a dark ass period right now, but it's not going to last forever. And when you get through this dark period, you'll be more powerful than you ever have been. Facts. Okay. Scorpio, make sure you understand that as Jupiter is about to move into your sign, you're going to really expand the quality of how perfectly you express yourself, because the North Node was already in your sign. So that work of destiny you did in 2014, I feel, when Saturn was there, or maybe after or before, is going to start to pay off. Okay, you've already kind of done that work. So don't worry, you're building a great spirituality in how you connect to people. But also remember that with, just like Libra, I'm gonna be paying a lot of attention to Drake, because his 10th house and first house is active. He Leo rising, so really 12. But just like Libra, this is going to be a great successful period for you. Scorpio risings, Scorpio, this is the year where you break out. This is the year where you come into great success because of that North Node in your 10th house. And you're going to be, by destiny, ordained to a profound career opportunity or the advancement and completion of your career. So, just letting you know. We do have the Knight of Wands reversed. I almost got this for Gemini too, but I didn't like the card, so I shuffled it again, and we still ended up getting a shitty card. But so that Knight of Wands reversed is talking about you very mindful of being restless, okay? And I also have the King of Earth reversed, but I'm gonna do this upright. I'm confidently accept opportunities you're offered. The Midas touch. You got the Midas touch. But look, Scorpio, the Knight of Wands, this is a reckless ass Sagittarius, or this ass fire sign, or a reckless ass individual who wants to waste your goddamn time. This person cannot even think like 2 minutes without being distracted. Be very careful. I wouldn't waste time with this person. But this could be an antagonist in your time this week. Don't take this person seriously and use this person before you discard this person, because they have bad intent. All right. And with the King of Earth, the reverse that I got, I'm still going to put it upright, but be very mindful. It may not be a Sagittarius. The King of Wands is the Sag card, but be very mindful, yo. That Knight of Wands is impulsiveness, recklessness. You can screw a whole lot up if you're doing this, but be very mindful. They're going to be very sexy. They're going to try and get in your pants, but they ain't about shit. They ain't about shit. Sagittarius, look, for you, Saturn is in your sign, okay? But because you have this 9th house energy in Leo opening up for you, this is where the world is about to open up for you, Sagittarius, and you finally see it now even more than before. The truth to do. Not only are you going to see the truth of what you're meant to do, but you're also going to really come into the true philosophy of love that you've been developing. And Uranus is in your 5th. So Sagittarius, come on, Sagittarius. I'm not seeing this enough. Some Sagittariuses are on it. So this does not apply to every Sag or Sag rising. But Sagittarius, are you still trying to be normal? And when you date others, are you still holding yourself back from connecting with someone romantically because you think that they'll think you're weird? There's nothing you can do, Sagittarius. Your Uranus is in your fifth. Weird. You have to push the envelope. You have to take people out, and people have to be like, did I just experience that? Like you're rewriting the rules when it comes to expressing your heart with your Uranus in your fifth. Like you almost have to be low-key retarded. No offense. Like I hope that doesn't offend anyone by me saying retarded, but that gather that energy. Like you have to be crazy. You're already crazy, but you have to embrace it. Like you have to, you're so ahead of your time. And as far as showing people the way, those Sagittarius who are in their integrity, not the ones trying to finesse others, you're so like ahead of your time in the way you express this love. You cannot allow yourself to be slowed down because someone thinks you're weird. Okay, so they may think you're weird or crazy at first before they open up, but you have no time to slow yourself down for that. And the reason why I say and know you might be holding yourself back is because Venus is in your eighth house, up your vulnerabilities and forcing you to really come into transform your self-esteem with Pluto in your second by how vulnerable you can share your heart with some people that are close to you. All right. And be mindful because this is going to make you super horny, but it's also going to allow others who you can't trust to take advantage if you do not stand up for your own self-esteem. And we have the Queen of Swords. So this is a very cold and cruel woman who has her sights on you. This is a very intelligent woman, but she may not necessarily like you because of certain issues. In other words, if I was giving Nicki Minaj a reading, I'd be like, watch out for Cardi B because this is a Libra woman, right? And she already started talking about her, but no, I don't want to say Cardi B is Nicki or having to be for anything, but you know what I'm saying? Like Sagittarius, be very mindful. This is not a woman that you even want to kind of attack. I remember having a reading, Brooke. You talked about a Libra. This could be this Libra woman, but it is what it is. This Queen of Swords reversed has the power to twist words. Call this person out when they're on their shit. Don't allow them to talk slide to you. And we also have Six of Fire. Victory! Good news is on its way. Or awards. So keep this in mind because you may get some public recognition that really makes this queen jealous of you. So careful. This Queen of Swords may not necessarily even be a bad person. Maybe on their own, it's great, but you don't like it. So be very mindful. Be very mindful, okay? Capricorn, for you, this is very important because you want to be in a position where you're honoring Pluto is still in your sign, but you're also having to deal profoundly with the Jupiter square that's happening to you as well. And this is forcing you to really transform the way you put yourself out there in the world because certain things you do can catch way more attention than you expect it to if you even care. And you may be too preoccupied on your image that you forget this is all about your eighth house. This is all about breaking forth a transformative ability to open up your heart and transform through your love like never before. So the boundaries that you're destined to draw will be revealed because people are going to reveal their true colors. With Venus in your seventh house, people are going to reveal their true colors because by what they're sincere with what they don't say and what they don't do is going to really show them who they are. And the reason why it's going to be true colors is because Pluto is opposite this in your sign, helping you see through people. So we have Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. I don't know what this major arcana is in the tarot. It's the 15 card ego, but this is the moon card apparently. Yeah, this is definitely different. But we also have Hierophant. I think it was reversed, but I'm just putting it and it's definitely saying to necessarily let attainments get to your head. But if anything, Capricorn, I see this as you dealing with people who have ego, and you kind of showing them the right way. But it's going to be kind of vice versa. Don't let any flattery trip you up. But the Hierophant is actually going to bring greater and higher knowledge to your situation, if any, to kind of help you out. Oops. Aquarius, Jupiter is in your ninth house. So the more you really express your philosophy to people, the better. This is your key to kind of gaining very powerful relationships with people. And Pluto is still in your 12th house, Aquarius. So this is a little bit, you know, can't say, but really keep in mind that the paranormal stuff you're facing, you already know you're not crazy. But you really want to keep in mind that you have to embrace more. A lot of things are happening outside of your control. And you're not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. Like, you're being interfered heavy, and then you're blaming yourself for it. Like, people are screwing you up. Well, see, let's not even blame other people. Forces out of your control, and you're blaming it on yourself. You're not good enough because you think it should have never happened to you. But Pluto's in your 12th. This is like made in the most intense way. When Pluto transits your 12th, you get psychically attacked off the wazoo. So if people were facing 10 people and they threw both at you and you got hit, you would be like, it was those people's fault. But people who are across the world and in your community psychically attacking you, you're thinking it's your fault. You know it's psychic attack, but you won't acknowledge it. So acknowledge it. And Leo is activating your 7th house. So with the South nodal influence, that's reminding you of how to integrate your past life power, which you don't come from a past life. You come from the ancient future because you're aliens. But the 7th house energy is going to establish and bring to life the destined relationships you're meant to have. You may think you're meant to be with this one person. The universe is just going to redirect you and make you be with your twin flame. Some of you are already with your twin flame. So if you're with this partner, this is going to be the transit that establishes this partnership and makes it last forever. Provided you speak from your heart and that person speaks from their heart. Okay. Pluto conjunct Moon is going to make you a vessel of this very intense energy, and it's going to really make your soul quite God-body. I'm not gonna lie. It's very vague to say, but we have the 4 of Wands reversed for you. So this is still a positive card when it comes to really gaining positivity, but just look to any kind of positive energy or celebrations being delayed. Okay, reversed. There may be a delaying of certain celebrations. Something that you may have hoped may be pushed back. And a lot of this has to do with, once again, just like Capricorn, the ego card. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Capricorn and Aquarius, you need to be very careful about your ego. This isn't like Aries, who's like, yeah, I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? This is a more subtle form of ego where you are aware of how powerful you are, and you maybe take it a little bit too seriously. All right? And do what you're going through so you can be humbled. And the thing with Aquarius and Capricorn is you're so powerful, you will not see the other way because you can't be wrong. Some of you literally can't be wrong, and I don't say that in a subjective way. I mean, like, literally. Like, some of you have Saturn contacts. Like, if you're wrong, Saturn will screw you up. So you feel like you have to be right all the time, and you don't know your ego's getting in your way. So if you do get humbled, it's okay. No worries. This will actually be great. And Pisces, finally for you, Neptune is in your sign. So this is going to really allow you quite profoundly to come into greater understanding of the more divine facets of yourself. The reason why I say that is because Mercury is in your seventh house retrograding. So all the facts about this divine energy are being manifested by other people. With. And you're the only one who sees this, Pisces. But people don't know Pisces, maybe Pisces rising, but Pisces sun and Pisces moon doesn't see it, but they feel it. Pisces sun can see the energy flowing from them to others, and then they can see the other people embody the energy and say it. And Pisces is Pisces, so they won't tell you that they see this. So be mindful, Pisces, because with this Leo energy in your sixth, the work you're meant to do is being established as if by destiny. You pour your heart out to people you love, because Venus is in your fifth. You pouring your heart out sincerely to people you love is going to transform the connection you have with them because of Pluto in your 11th. Of Earth, fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Some of you may be dealing with some money issues. Some of you may not be aware, or some of you may not necessarily know what's going to be good with money in your life. If you're losing a job, if you're kind of like dealing with something like that, it's because of the death card. Okay? So you may be losing a job. You may be slowing down. The fears are because your life is about to transform. Remember, your sixth house, like you may be getting a new job, but you don't know that yet. Maybe you're just going to experience things going bad. It's for a reason. It's temporary. You're transforming. So even the money you make has to be purified. And trust me. Don't worry. Just allow this transformation to occur. You will be okay. All right. Before I do the super chats, I'm going to draw a card for all the signs. Woo! So I have 5 of air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. And this is very important because I have the 2 of wands reversed as well. And the 2 of wands reversed is saying that you may not, your motives and your intent may not be as pure as you think it is. And this is the card for everybody. So, I don't like to talk a lot about the negative side of things because I leave that more to Cancer, Scorpio. I'm not an earth or water sign. Like these are the feminine zodiac signs who do that. I like to focus on the positive. But we're all on some bullshit right now. We are all on some bullshit. Every single one of us is doing something we know we shouldn't. So this is kind of why we put these cards. Like, let's not act like we're all perfect. I love some of us like to act like they're never wrong. Me, myself, I'm going through some stuff. I can go a lot harder on these videos. How long have I promised to finish the moon sign series? So I'll call myself out too. But make sure you use this week to refine your intentions. This is the reason why you're getting this card is you want to make sure you're doing what you're doing for the right reasons. And this will be this week where you can correct that. All right. So that being said, thank you once again for joining me. I'll draw the super chat angel cards. All right. Make sure once again you order the webinar or the Tarot Eclipse report. Give me a little bit of time if you do order the Tarot Eclipse report for me to come back, but it's all good. It's all good. I'll settle that later. All right. So for damn, Allie. What the hell? Why you put me on blast like that? Queen Deji. I have Page of Water. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Maya Knox or Mia Knox. Earth. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. A guardian angel. Planet Liberty. Planet Liberty, we have the Queen of Earth. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Miss Kiki. Miss Kiki, we have the Three of Fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. All right. Rena J. Rena J, we have the King of Air. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. Beautiful Miss Young. The King of Water. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. Sweet. Quantum Snowflake. We got the Four of Water. Missing an opportunity, discontent, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So you may not miss an opportunity, but as you reflect, just make sure you're not so too in contemplation mode. You don't look at the available opportunities you have. Nancy Solorio. We have the Six of Fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognitions or awards. Jimmy Dean, we have the Fool card. The Dreamer. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams. Unexpected opportunities. Phalange. We have the Four of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation answers. Annie Liu. We have the Sun. Archangel Uriel says, happy outcome. Be brilliant. I'm sorry, happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. And Scorpio water sign. We have life experience. Archangel Chamuel, a significant event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So thank you, one and all, for joining. Much appreciated. Y'all stay blessed. I'm going to go work out.